Okay, so we're going to start the notes for the first section of quadratic functions. First off, though, if you feel like you need review on graphing or working with positive and negative numbers or solving for x using algebra, then I encourage you to just choose whichever of those review options you need located underneath this video, just to give you a refresher, because those are really essential skills that will be needed throughout this first chapter. Okay, so by the end of the lesson, you need to be able to determine a bunch of characteristics of a parabola given an equation, and also determine the equation for a parabola given 2 points. At the beginning of each lesson, I'll state what you need to be able to do by the end of it, and that is all that will be covered on the unit tests. So if you can go back and you can say, yes, I know how to do this, I know how to do that, then you will be definitely ready for your chapter test. Okay, so let's get started. First, there are just some definitions that we should go over. Now, it would be really useful if you were able to print out the notes and complete them as we go, because that will be a really good resource for you for the assignments and for studying for your tests. So first, a quadratic function is a function with an x squared term and no greater exponent on x. So what I mean by that is, for example, y equals x squared is a quadratic function because there's an x squared term and we don't have like an x cubed term or an x to the power of 4 term. X squared is the largest exponent on x, is the 2. Another example of a quadratic function would be y equals 3x squared plus 2x minus 10, because again we have an x squared term but no bigger exponent on the x than the 2. A degree is the largest exponent on the variable. So in our previous examples with y equals x squared and y equals 3x squared plus 2x minus 10, the degree is 2 because the largest exponent on the variable, which is x, is 2. So for quadratic functions, so degree equals 2 for quadratic functions. And let's get another example. So let's say for a polynomial like x squared minus 4x to the power of 5 plus 3x minus 5, the degree is 5 because the largest exponent on the x is a 5. Okay, polynomial. This is a mathematical expression having many terms. It can have constants, so that's just like a plain number, variables, such as x, or exponents on those variables. And a parabola is a U-shaped graph formed by a quadratic function. So that means that the graphs of a quadratic function, so for example y equals x squared, or any other polynomial where the greatest exponent on the variable is 2, are going to have U-shaped graphs. So that's called a parabola. So let's say y equals x squared, you're going to have it looking like that. There's also going to be a quadratic formula that would result in a graph like this. Or you could have a graph going down as well like that. All of those are parabolas.